So, how did I get here? Well, believe it or not, growing up, Kyle and I were neighbors. Mom, Dad, I'm going to Kyle's. Okay, sweetie, have fun. And we were actually really close throughout elementary school and the beginning of middle school. So what you want to do at recess? How about I crush you in dodgeball again? Sounds good. It was also around this time that I developed an interest in writing poetry. I wrote poems all the time. The cat's meow was as loud as its need for mice, but the mice only came when he was hurting the most. That's so good. I was proud of my poems. But before I go there, let me introduce you to my parents. That's my mom, Carla. Good mom. She worked a lot, she did what she could, but my dad is the one that kind of ran the household. That's my dad. His name is Steven. Him and I didn't really get along growing up, and he wasn't really supportive of my interests. Hey Dad, I wrote a poem, you want to hear it? Chad, no, I'm busy, okay? I don't have time to read your poem, okay? Go outside and do something. Why are you writing poetry anyway? That's so lame. Alright. So with my mom working a lot and my dad, who never showed any interest in me, I spent a lot of time hanging out at Kyle's. I enjoyed hanging out there, and Kyle's dad was really cool. Hey Chad, come on in, buddy. Kyle, Chad's here. Hey, thanks Pops. What's up, Chad? Come on in. Things went on like that for a while. I kept writing poetry. My dad was still distant. I hung out with Kyle all the time, but it started to get to a point where I was beginning to resent Kyle. Not for anything he did, but because I was jealous of the way him and his dad got along. All right, Kyle, go long, man. Go long, buddy. Nice throw, Dad. Nice throw. No, nice catch, buddy. I love you. I love you too, Dad. That moment made me jealous. It was then that I decided that I was gonna write a poem so good, and I was gonna make my dad read it. And once he read it, there'd be no way he wouldn't be proud of me. So I got to work. I spent hours writing this. I was finally done. It was perfect in my eyes. I went downstairs to show my dad. Hey Dad? Yes, Chad? I wrote a poem and I really need you to read it. What happened next was the moment that shaped my entire future. It changed everything. Chad, for the last time, I need you to grow up and be a man and stop writing poetry. A week after my dad slapped me, he left us. One morning he packed his bags and he just left. And I haven't seen him since. I know. It's messed up. The slap never began with Kyle. It began with my dad, which brings me back to here. My newfound slap powers messed Kyle up pretty bad, but after a few days he was okay. And I knew at that moment that Kyle wasn't my enemy. He never was. This entire time, it's been my dad. So there I was, standing in the hallway of my high school, my hand filled with power. I let go of my anger towards Kyle, and I started a long journey. The journey to find my father and do what I've wanted to do for years. Slap him back.